better than us? Nobody!
Want to focus on the things that have made us good all year long, an intensity that they can't match. And the other thing is the ultimate disrespect is when somebody takes what's yours. And this is our game, so that makes it so personal. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3, dominate.
I need 60 minutes. 60 minutes of me! You got it. 60 minutes! No business, no mercy! Nothing but stats on the thought bubble! You got me! We're gonna ring the bell! We're gonna ring that championship bell! Motherfucking dog!
Ball is on Mitch Jeter's leg. Good snap, good hold, kick on its way, and the kick is good! Yes! Mitch Jeter, with 7 seconds left, gives the Irish a lead, 27-24. Notre Dame is on the precipice.
Notre Dame has won the Orange Bowl. 3rd and 16, Mahomes rolling out. Looking, firing, intercepted, picked up by Cooper DeJean, gets a block, DeJean is in, touchdown!
The Philadelphia Eagles have won Super Bowl 59. They have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs.
And now, welcome everyone to the Huddle Up Podcast.
You are looking live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, Huddle Up Podcast. It is Tuesday, September the 16th, 2025. We're glad to be back with you for another week, and we hope you are doing well wherever you are. Make sure you are following along with us on all of our social media at Huddle Up Podcast across the board. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Twitter at Huddle Up Podcast. You can get us on Instagram at Huddle Up Podcast Inc. You can get us on Twitch at Huddle Up Inc. You can also grab our merchandise over on the TeePublic store. I believe there may be some sales going on, so go over there and grab that. New stuff, old stuff. We have some retweaked. We've retweaked some of the designs, so go over and grab some of that to get you prepared for the season, the fall season, the winter Christmas season, which will be right around the corner. So go ahead and grab that. We would certainly appreciate the support. Like, share, subscribe everywhere you can, and be with us all season long. No EJ as of yet. He may be stopping in. So for the time being, it is just the brothers too. Sean, how we doing this week?
Oh, we're doing good. We're rolling. The Eagles are 2-0. Phillies just won the NL East. Hopefully no hangover today. Let's shut this Dodgers series down anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are rolling right now. I'm ready. Fall's about to start.
It is
playoff baseball in the heart of football season. That's when I'm in heaven.
Devin checking in. We got some others checking in as well. Good evening to everybody. Yeah, things are going mostly well. The Cowboys got their first win. It feels like about 1,000 years since the those Notre Dame clips that play in the intro, but there's still plenty of season in front of us. Plenty of season in front. The nice thing is we're only 5 points from being undefeated, Sean. Only 5 points.
Just brutal. It's
a brutal start to the year. Lost in a very creative way on Saturday. So hopefully that is not a sign for the rest of the season. Won't get a chance to talk about them, most likely, throughout the show tonight. But nonetheless, we are back. Baseball playoffs on the horizon. Hockey training camps opening this week. I think basketball training camps opening soon as well. So we are firing at the best time of the year for sports. So
Basketball.
So we are going to start, as we did last week, with the best of what we saw in the past 7 days. All right, Sean, and we can obviously touch on a couple of things, especially with only being the two of us. But what was the best of the last week in football for you?
Well, I mean, besides the obvious choice as an Eagles fan, I mean, to me, watching, across the NFL, I mean, I think your storyline to this point has got to be Danny Dimes. I think Daniel Jones and what's going on in Indianapolis is I mean, it's not astounding because, it's not like I've ever fully counted the Colts out at any time. Shifting quarterbacks threw me out of the bandwagon a little bit. But I got to tell you, I'm right back on it. I think that, they're sitting in a 2-game cushion over a team that what did happen?
Yeah.
We had a unanimous choice of the Houston Texans, just kind of the best of what's around down there in the South. And now I'm watching them play and I'm seeing what I'm seeing in Houston and I'm seeing what I'm seeing in Indianapolis. And I don't know, Indiana Jones, it's got a nice ring to it. And they look good and they're playing good football and they're going to beat the Titans this week probably. And you're going to be rolling at 3-0. And even if you stumble against the Rams in week 4, 3-1 after the first quarter of the year is miles ahead of where they thought they would be at that stage. So good for Danny Dimes, good for the Colts. I think football's better when that franchise is good. And I think it makes for at least a competitive or somewhat more exciting South than what I think everybody was looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean the Indianapolis Colts. And let's see if I can find it here. In terms of your over under win total, we're at 8.5. I mean they're going to be well on their way to very likely, almost half of that before we're even out of September. The schedule does get a little bit harder. And in October, you have the Raiders who look like they're going to be kind of just
they're going to be up and down, but a challenge every week. A
challenging team. The Cardinals, Chargers, who look really good.
Cardinals defense looks way better than it has in the past.
They still have games against the Chiefs out there. 49ers, if they ever can figure out what they want to be. But there's also still winnable games because you're still going to play every team in your division twice, and your division stinks. So there's a lot of wins out on the table. The Colts really at this point, looking at what that over-under number is, I think we all were probably,
Jaguars took Joe Burrow out of a game.
Yeah.
And lost to them anyway.
Right. And, I think
That's where the Jags are.
We didn't. Yeah. We didn't do over-unders this year, but I think we would have all had the under on 8.5 for the Colts. Really, I mean, again, I was talking about Riley Leonard.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have had it.
Knowing
Danny Dimes was taking over, I don't think I would have had it.
No, I was talking about Riley Leonard was going to quickly become the quarterback of the Colts. And that feels like 1,000 years ago. And Devin says in the comments here, he goes, "Yet I'm still here as a Miami Dolphins fan." Because you're a fan, Devin. You're a fan. That's the thing, man. Like, I've seen the Notre Dame fan base, and obviously this is straying off of best of, but the Notre Dame fan base on Twitter just went nuclear on Saturday. Like, look, it's a bad start to the year. This is not what we expected. This is not what we signed up for this year after going to a national championship game literally this calendar year. January 20th, we were playing for a national championship. We, in theory, lost by 8 because a junk time field goal. We basically lost by 1 score to the Ohio State Buckeyes in the national championship. And here we are 0-2, ranked 24. This isn't what we were expecting. We thought, man, maybe we lose to Miami. But we got Texas A&M. Our defense has been bad. Our offense has been good.
We had Texas A&M.
But man, it's, and I said to, like, somebody was like, dude, even if we, like, one sane Notre Dame fan I saw in the bunch was like, even if we go 0-12, I'm still going to be here. I'm like, because you're a fan. I'm convinced, like, so many of the people I've seen, like, either they became Notre Dame fans in 2013 for some reason, or like they're just they just
Waited
kind of
that long.
like they just kind of latched on like last year. And it's like, first off, we've been through worse. We've been through a lot worse. If you've been a Notre Dame fan for any period of time, like this isn't a team that's going to go 4-8. Like they're just not. They've lost to 2 top 10 teams by 4 points. Like we're gonna be okay. The schedule gets easier. It does.
That was the 2. You know, and unfortunately, you know, with an easier schedule, you're going to start. Well, yeah, you're beating these teams, blah blah blah. But now you need to beat those teams.
Yeah,
and you need to beat them good. And so let's focus on that. And you know, if you don't make the top 12, you don't make the top 12.
No, you're. And I get the AP poll and the college football playoff poll will be different, but you're 24th this week. You have to move up 13 spots. That's the goal in front of you now.
Right, because you got to account for a potential auto bid, so you got to get to probably 11.
Yeah, well, because there's going to be a group of 5 team that's gonna push out whoever's 12th. Because I don't think there's going to be a group of 5 that's going to get to the actual top 12.
No, I don't. I think somebody's going to be out there.
So 11's your target, right? 11's your target. You know, you have Purdue. Look, I don't want to make comparisons to last year when we lost to Northern Illinois, but last year you lose to Northern Illinois. Everything felt terrible. You went to West Lafayette and you kicked Purdue's teeth in. This Saturday in South Bend, that team from West Lafayette, Purdue, comes to town. Let's bring
on the Boilermakers.
Let's get right by beating the Purdue. Okay, that's where we start. That's how we get things around. Mikey checking in here in the comments. Ernest has not crashed in yet. No, he will eventually crash in, possibly, maybe.
Trying to figure out Star Wars over here. Just tossing the word Commanders into the comments.
Right.
As you do know, this section's called the best of the week. The best.
Well, maybe in his defense, best football team that plays just north of Washington, D.C. this weekend.
I guess that could have been.
There you go. Could have been it. Could have been it.
I know Green Bay thought they were a fun time.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, they enjoyed the Commanders.
They absolutely did.
Had a good time.
They had a great time.
James Daniels not such good of a time.
No, he didn't have a great time. Now could be out for a couple of weeks here. So,
sorry, Star Wars, you still understand.
A lot of quarterback injuries early on here, so that's not a great thing either. Mine, and I will self-admittedly hit it here.
Homer.
Brandon Aubrey, 4 field goals on Sunday. Carrying
he was a finalist.
Carrying a couple of my fantasy teams to victories this week. 4 field goals, including a 64-yarder to tie a game in the drunkest final 48 seconds of an NFL game regulation I've seen in a long time.
Just 2 teams just
didn't want to win. Just
drooling all over a field. Nope. No football.
Cowboys take a 4-point lead with 48 seconds to go. Russell Wilson, the Cowboys making Russell Wilson look like he's back in Seattle winning an MVP, or trying to. And
the defense doesn't look very
not very good, the Cowboys defense. But
not great, Bob.
Cowboys offense looks pretty good. George Pickens, 98 yards over 2 games, getting plenty extra yards with pass interferences. CeeDee Lamb found his hands this week. Javonte Williams, top 10 in yards to start the year. So
looks good so far.
Welcome back to the NFL, Javonte Williams. Good to see you checking in. Miles Sanders didn't fumble this week. That's a good thing.
That's new for this year.
But the Cowboys. Then of course the game-winning field goal in overtime. Brian Schottenheimer's first win as head coach. So and look, and I said this on Twitter as EJ does crash into the studio. But I said it on Twitter. I was like, there was the video of the post game with them, Brian Schottenheimer shouting out the game balls and passing everything out, and I'm like, look, I don't know if he'll be the head coach even beyond this year. I really don't. I like this Brian Schottenheimer
feels like a fall guy.
Yeah, he does.
Still to this moment, it feels like there's a guy like almost like the Vrabel in New England, where you bring in.
Or not Vrabel,
I don't know that he was designed
Gerard Mayo,
to be a fall guy.
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah, and it just they were just holding out for Vrabel maybe, and they're like, oh, he's available.
Right, like
Gerard.
like EJ, if you're gonna snort, just mute your microphone. Good God. I think you're coming through your computer, bud. I think your
mic's live, bro.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, you're coming through the wrong mic.
There's a lot of body sounds.
There's a lot of body noise. Yeah,
a lot of things.
But oh, come on now. Good God.
That's better.
Yeah, get yourself right, man.
Oh,
God,
yeah, I'm good. I'm
that
good,
is horrendous.
I'm good.
That is
How you doing,
horrendous.
Sean? Nice.
Get your mouth shut.
Jeez,
You need to blow your nose. That sweatshirt will do just fine. Yeah, How are the Mets, by the way? They still in first?
Well, they're winning tonight. I don't.
San Diego now.
They're clinging to life.
I don't think they can catch the NL East. So
the Giants.
No, that's over. That's over.
The Giants are not going to slow down.
No.
The Giants. That walk-off grand slam the other night was a phenomenal finish.
Yeah, and the Mets deserve it.
But I don't know. I don't know where the Brian Schottenheimer experience goes or how long it goes, but
it goes.
That team, those players. Listen here, Coach of the Year Brian Daboll allegedly. There's one place where that's going, by the way. But that team looks like they really like Brian Schottenheimer, like that. As wild and silly and stupid as Sunday's game was, that they look like they like each other. So,
well, I think from an offensive standpoint, they're a team of guys that wants to be flashy. They're a team of guys that wants to put up highlight reels. I mean, Pickens wants to be on the receiving end of, high flying, deep balls. He wants to get on the highlight reel, and I think CeeDee Lamb does too. But Lamb's just fine catching him over the middle and just burning somebody. But I think that he brings an offensive coaching package that lends itself to those guys. Now, obviously, Javonte Williams benefiting from either him or from a lack of Jalen Carter, and then the New York Giants. We'll see what happens in the next few games. Those are two pretty good recipes, but he's hitting it. I mean, guys in Dallas the past few years have not.
Right.
So, they're pushing the buttons that the previous teams couldn't.
The Cowboys are and I shared this stat with you guys earlier today. The Cowboys are 2 rushing touchdowns away from matching last year's total.
That's insane, isn't it?
The Cowboys had 6 rushing touchdowns last year.
I mean, I knew last year was bad.
Right.
I didn't think that any aspect of it was that abysmal. That is
brutal,
horrendous stat.
Brutal. So bad, bad.
Terrible.
How many do they have?
Terrible job.
How many do they have this year? How many rushing touchdowns are we talking here?
Well, it's 4. They're 2 away.
They have 4.
They have 4.
So last year was 6.
They had 6
in 17 games.
17 games.
Please tell me I need to do research. I got to find out if they had a 2-touchdown game.
They had
a 2 rushing touchdown day.
I hope they did.
Makes it even.
And you would think too in a year where you lose Dak for most of the year that you rely on the running game. And
the trouble is everybody knew that, I guess.
Well, and I guess when you lose Dak, stack the box and just force riptide rush.
Then you can't get anything going, and then you have to pass.
So I think what they were doing is they probably were getting more action in the swing pass or the screen pass game. So you probably had running back touchdowns that just weren't rushing touchdowns, but even still 6 over the course of 17 games.
Wait, Sean, I don't appreciate you stealing my best of the weekend for the record. If you think I missed that,
you should have got here on time.
Wait. If you think I missed that, you're sadly mistaken, sir.
Well, get here.
I'm a Colts guy.
The Colts.
I'm a Colts guy.
You are a Colts guy. To be fair, you are a Colts guy. You've been a Colts guy a couple of years, actually.
Get here on time next time, EJ.
I've just liked everything they've done, and I liked Anthony Richardson, and I still kind of want to, even though he's not going to be a Colt when he does it.
Which, by the way, no one's ever heard that name whatsoever since the start of the year.
Is he still?
One thing, there's a lot of holes in QB rooms right now.
Is Richardson still hurt, or is he just?
Yeah, he's still. Well, he's hurt.
Well, I feel like he was preparing to start the year. Like I thought that was happening, and then they were just like, no.
They made the decision to start Daniel Jones.
Right, and then it was kind of just maybe I think they just stopped talking about it. They were like, because then nobody cared. But if he's able to play, and you ever wanted to get some value out of him, like I would think this would be a pretty good time.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's a hot take. My buddy Jordan Buscarini was on my podcast a couple weeks ago, and fellow Notre Dame guy himself, and he said that a good fit for him would be going to the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. You're going to have to wait a while, play behind Stafford, maybe learn something. But
yeah,
I don't know. They got Garoppolo there, and then behind him they got
Stetson Bennett looked good, and I get it's preseason, but Bennett looked good.
I think they're planning on a Garoppolo 2, and then eventually just have Stetson Bennett jump him.
Right.
And just
I will say that
as long as Garoppolo wants to play.
He will get another chance, though. He's too talented enough, raw talent enough to he's not getting another chance.
Well, James, you and I were talking after the Burrow injury. How I said, well, get Kurt Warner on the phone, or get Kirk Cousins on the phone.
Kurt Warner,
same thing.
I mean, Kurt Warner might be more mobile than Kirk Cousins at this point.
That's true. Yeah, working.
You mentioned are there any mobile quarterbacks available?
Richardson, Richardson
would be a guy that could run away. And those
right,
guys
at the
love
very
a guy
least.
with a cannon. If he's healthy, that's probably not a bad call for the Bengals to make.
Yeah, because
I don't know if you're the Colts and you're trying to maybe challenge for a wild card. I don't know if I want to give a boost. Just let them have whoever they have. You don't want to run into the Bengals later.
3-way trade, like Cowboys get Richardson, the Cowboys send Mixon to Cincy, and Cincy sends a bucket of balls to Indianapolis.
There you
go. Yeah. I'll tell you what. It's been a really funny season out the shoot, man. Very funny season out the shoot.
Yeah,
it's bizarre. I mean, it's like.
It is.
I don't know. Like people that wanted a shorter preseason and keep guys healthy, all they got was instead of one game of action, these starters have 0. And so you come in with no knowledge, minus the young teams that need to see some reps and get some guys out there or, some QB competitions and things. You'll see some start. But, I mean, how many teams actually played their starters for more than like 3 plays?
Right.
In the none, because there's no time to really see it.
Mike doesn't want Richardson.
I actually think I'll take Browning over AR-15 also.
Well, yeah, I mean, as an all-around quarterback, absolutely. We were strictly talking about the fact that everybody's first reaction is call Kirk Cousins, and I'm like, okay, so he can get killed behind that offensive line,
right? So in 3 games when he's dead,
like he's less mobile than Joe Burrow, and so like that's you're doing nothing by bringing in Kirk.
Well, that's
the Jets stink at running a football team. Maybe you could just get him to trade Justin Fields.
Well, that's the concern I have with the Bengals too. Also, is not the fact that Browning couldn't hold the fort down for 3 months. I think he could. I think the offensive line is the issue.
Well, yeah, and that's
Is
the thing.
Browning going to survive? Like that's the
right.
The line. If the line was above average, I would say the 2-0 out the shoot. You play 500 football rest until December.
Most teams put money into that offensive line. Where did their money go?
To a second receiver.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Good job, Mike Brown.
But I mean, it's been the issue we've talked about for half a decade on this show. EJ, what was your best of the week?
Well, I love to say mine, but like your brother here stole mine.
Again, get here on time. This is a you problem.
Out of Tampa. No, I actually got another one. And look, granted, it is a 2-week sample, but I think right now through 2 weeks, it is clear the Packers are the second best team in the NFC.
I think there's a lot of people that would tell you they look like the best team in the NFC.
No,
so they're clear at least the second best.
Right.
Well, you hear
they're in the Rushmore and probably higher.
To Sean's point, though, like the people saying, "Oh, the Eagles 2-0, but they look impressive." I disagree with that. I think the Eagles, you play.
I mean, let them.
Right. Well, yes, I'm saying number one week.
I mean, at this point, if you wake up and it starts looking flashy again, they'll all shut up.
I'm not one to defend your team, but I also watch football. Week 1, you play your division rival. Okay, on first game of the year, there's pressure there to some degree. They're going to play up in that game, and they still won that game, even losing Jalen Carter. Week 2, you play the AFC champions. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you act like the Eagles are playing like the Titans or the Saints every week. No, they played some really quality teams here. So they're fine.
Well, to be fair, we don't know if the Chiefs.
To be the man, you got to beat the man. And Green Bay, they look really good. Beat Philadelphia first before you convince me the best team in the
We're
conference.
going to get that chance in a few weeks.
To be fair, we don't know if the Chiefs are a good team.
To be fair.
Well, and I'll tell you what.
More on that later.
Chiefs, and I'll tell you what. That Chiefs schedule after this week ain't letting up. There's a Baltimore in there. There's a Washington in there. There's a Detroit in there.
Yeah, they get 2 downs in the next 4.
Their own division alone. Frisky Raiders, Broncos is still decent. I think overrated personally, but whatever.
They get 2 downs in the next few weeks. Two easier ones, and
right. So they better get on. But Jim, can you and Sean, could you imagine a world, a Chiefs go 0-3? Oh my God!
I mean,
I've already imagined it.
Well, I was going to say, I think there's a lot of people in this country who have imagined it, but they have the Giants. Like they're going. I know it's a road game. They're going to the Giants. The
Giants can't score that many points against the Chiefs.
No. That says that. By the way, that game with Dallas says more about the Dallas defense than the New York Giants.
It was pretty bad.
Well, correct.
Bad
you let Russell have the best game of his career like that,
right? And look, I mean,
the Cowboys' problem.
The Cowboys, the defense wasn't going to be great to begin with, and they were without Deron Bland. They were without a couple guys on D. Trevon Diggs doesn't look 100%. So, no, it's not even about Micah at this point.
No, I understand it, but when you trade Michaels too before your starts,
right? But like,
you at least had that on your belt.
Well, and he until it's a big game, and then he fails to show up.
But I told James when I talked about that game after it, I was like, when Russell Wilson stepped into that throw at the end of the fourth quarter, the moment he let go of it, I was like, that's a touchdown.
Oh yeah,
because he has a different demeanor when he knows it's gonna get there.
Yeah,
than if it's
he has one.
You can tell when he's throwing a prayer and when he's throwing a promise. Yeah. And he was throwing a promise.
He has one of, if not the best, deep ball in history.
And with Neighbors getting turned to the side as the ball's arriving, which was a no call, by the way, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Point is, it didn't matter because even when he couldn't see that ball, he was just waiting for. He had his hands ready. He's like, it's got to be here.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I know I've run this route before, and there it was. Just I don't even think he was looking at the ball when he caught it. It was quite a play.
So strange thing, a little insight. So I got a buddy of mine, Mario, and him and I have a bet going. See, he's a Cowboys fan.
Okay.
So I bet him. So the overall number we had was 8.5 wins for the Cowboys. I bet him $100 that he bet me, and I took the bet that the Cowboys will win more than 8.5 games. He disagreed.
You're nothing but a degenerate.
Him, the Cowboys fan.
I think you have a problem.
Disagree with me. So we're actually watching the game, rooting against our teams because of the bet.
Wait, so the bet is you say the Cowboys are going to get to 9 wins or better.
Yeah, I said that before the year started.
Okay.
He said no, and he's the Cowboys fan for the record.
Okay.
Diehard too, but he's also very, very realistic with his team. Almost like you. And we're sitting there watching the game, and we're rooting against each other, rooting against our teams, sort of a little bit because of our bet.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like Neighbors. Oh my God, yes, but no.
I think the next 4, maybe 5 games, because we're going to learn a little bit more about the Commanders here soon as well. But the next 4 to 5 games are where both of you are going to figure out who's going to end up eating $100. Because for the Cowboys, you're at Chicago, then you play Green Bay. Obviously, Green Bay, that looks to be an automatic L at this point. But Chicago, Jets, Panthers, Washington, Denver, and then the Cardinals before you go into the bye.
I can find 3 wins
in Week 10. This is
like if you're going to go over 8.5, you got to win
3 or 4,
all but 2 of those.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, you're going to lose to Green Bay.
Probably drop Green Bay and 1 more.
Maybe lose to Arizona. You need to clean up the rest.
Not gonna lie. Even though Dallas won on Sunday, the bet don't feel good to me because that defense is like fucking.
It's
crap.
bad. It's really bad. Now, granted, you're going to get Deron Bland back. They're gonna keep working into the system. Again, this is a new defensive system as well.
Yeah, he's showing up in camp.
I mean, it's
as if I needed another reason to hate him.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
I agree with you 100%.
You know what I mean? At this point, like, what are you gonna? Are you?
I mean, how many times has Jerry literally done nothing, and all we've done is criticize him? At least he's like, okay, look,
right? He's trying something.
I'm trying.
That looks bad.
Dude, if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, and I understand that that there's probably not a deal to be made there, but if I'm the Cowboys on Jerry Jones, I'm calling the Bengals about Hendrickson. Like, what's it going to take? We have money. We have draft picks now. Like, can we make a deal? Like, try something.
Yeah, I'm not sure the Bengals are going to make a move on that until they know what the offense looks like. If they need the defense to stand on its head and they need him to play, then they're going to keep him around.
But I mean, I'm at least making the call. Doesn't hurt to make a call.
It can hurt if you're calling Dallas, because apparently Jerry Jones is just like, that's not how we do deals.
Right, exactly.
And then just never does deals with you again.
Exactly.
By the way, I did read the Eagles had the biggest offer on the table.
Yeah.
Which I guess if in order to land him, you would have had to.
You would have had to. And shockingly, Jerry didn't just go for the biggest deal. So, yeah, because then out of the bye, you have Raiders, Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings, Chargers, Washington, and the Giants.
It gets a lot tougher.
It gets a lot tougher after the bye. So
if you're going to get to 9 wins, you need to have like 6 or 7 by the time that stretch starts.
And I love money, so how about them Cowboys? Let's go.
There you go. There you go. Love hearing EJ say that.
How about them Cowboys?
All right, let's move on though. We head into week number 4 of the college football season already. As hard as that is to believe, but we are just continuing to plug away in the college football season. 3 games featuring full matchups in the top 25 this week, and we will start big noon on Fox. It is number 17, Texas Tech. They are 3-0. They travel to number 16, Utah, who is 3-0.
You say Utes.
They are a 3-point home favorite. The over-under in this one, 58.5. EJ, we'll start with you.
I remember the last time I see a Utah game where the over-under is that high. They're typically a defensive team, So, I'm going to take Utah in this game, and I'll just go with history and bet the under. Why not?
Ooh, there we go. Sean?
I'll tell you what, if you don't have anything to do at 12 o'clock on Saturday, this would be a pretty fun one to watch, probably.
Agreed.
Texas Tech comes in averaging 66 points per game. They have the second leading passing offense in college football and are currently 23rd in rushing as well. They just tear up yards and things. Now, given you've pointed out that Utah is probably the best defensive test they're going to see this year. I think people know the Utes. I don't think people know who Texas Tech is right now. They're like, oh, wait, isn't that where Johnny Manziel? No, it's not. Different school altogether.
That was the one that hurt us this week.
This is Pat Mahomes. Anyway, but the Red Raiders are going to come out trying to impress. I think that they fall short, but I think they're going to put on a show. I think both teams are going to be scoring a ton. I don't think 58.5 is high enough. I'm going to take the over, and I'm almost going to put a lock on it. Not ready to push that lock close, but I'm hanging the lock on it because I think this one's going way over. And being the Utes, though, I think the 3 is too small the spread for me to not take Utah on this one. But I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, I'm with Sean. I regardless of it feeling like a lot of points, I think the over is the play here. It's
supposed to feel
like I don't care that they're not in the Big 12 anymore. This is still Big 12 football. Death taxes in the over.
These 2 teams are definitely Big 12 teams.
Yeah, like Utah's still a Big 12 team. So give me a death taxes in the over, but I will have them covering the 3 as well. Next one we go to 3:30 Eastern time on ABC. It's a 3-0 and number 22 Auburn team here in an SEC matchup at number 11 Oklahoma. Still feels weird to call them an SEC team, but they are 3-0 nonetheless. A 6.5 point home favorite. Your over under is 49.5. EJ.
I will never get used to calling Oklahoma an SEC team ever in my life. I just can't. This feels weird.
It's like hearing the CBS college football on CBS theme, and it's for Big Ten football. It just
yes.
Like,
oh my God, you too.
Like, I hear that music, and I'm like, all right, we're at Georgia, we're at LSU, we're at Auburn, we're at fucking Indiana. What?
The same thing seeing an NFC game like the Lions and Packers last week.
Yeah, when they do the cross network.
They're doing CBS now for the last, whatever. That's traditional to me. Anyway, Auburn and Oklahoma should be a fun game. I can't wait. Good to see Auburn back to playing. Playing quality football again. 3-0
with an offense.
And,
like it's not just like hang your hat on the defense and hope we do enough. Yeah. They can move the ball.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna ride them. Give me Auburn to win this game. I know Oklahoma's having a good year also too, but I'm like Auburn. They're like my fourth team in college football, and I will take the over.
All right, Sean.
As much as you're like an Auburn, and I enjoy having them around, I think Oklahoma has been a I don't want to call it pleasant, but a surprise for me in college football this year. I think they look a lot better and a lot more prepared for an SEC schedule than I thought they would. I think that they're gonna be a tough one to beat in this game. However, because of the weapons Auburn has shown so far and the way the offense seems to be clicking, I don't think Oklahoma covers. I'm going to take Auburn to cover, Oklahoma to win. So whenever it's that, when I'm splitting and I'm going to cover but the other team to win, I would say I wouldn't touch it if I was anybody out there. I'd just leave this one alone. But
definitely.
If you're betting SEC football, you're not going to listen to me anyway because you're already a psycho. So give me that over under 49.5. Gosh, that's too. Oklahoma's for the Big 12. Push the over.
Yeah.
Into the 50s.
Yeah, here's the thing, man. Like Oklahoma, a couple weeks ago, I obviously had the Michigan getting the win over them, and Oklahoma looks far better than I expected. I think than a lot of people expected. They're not giving up a lot of points. They've given up. Now, granted, outside of Michigan, they've played Illinois State and Temple, so you got to take it for what it's worth. But they've given up 19 points in 3 games. So like because their offense looks really good. Mateer, it looks like he's giving a different dynamic that we haven't seen from Oklahoma in a very long time. But it's the defense that's really surprising. They are swarming. They are fast. They are aggressive. So if I'm betting this game, and I'm not, because again I'm not a sadist. I think under's the play. I think that I'm not convinced that Auburn's all the way back. And Oklahoma, that Oklahoma defense is really good. So I will take the under. I think Auburn does cover as well. I think Oklahoma gets the win, but I'll take Auburn to cover and the under. And then the last one, and man, I usually don't give a crap where these preseason game or pre-shows are, but the Big Noon on Fox show and College Game Day not being at this game is absurd. The College Game Day is at
Audible.
College Game Day is at Florida at Miami. The Florida Gators, who stink out loud, are probably a bad loss away from firing their coach. They're going to get mud stomped by Florida. It's not even going to be close.
This week.
Miami
killed them.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly, but you have. I think I saw it's only the 3rd time ever that a ranked Indiana team is hosting a top 10 team. And it's the first time since like the late 80s or early 90s.
I mean, that's a
right. It's a next state over. This College Game Day.
Indiana, this would be like a top billing game.
Yeah, this was a failure on both pregame shows. But anyway, nonetheless,
I don't think they had Yeah, I don't think they had them like under a calling card that this is going to happen week 4 or week 5 of college football.
Yeah, but they only announce it the week before. Like, if you can't see that these two teams were going to be ranked,
they got to get Florida and Miami draw a crowd. But man, this other game might never happen again.
Right, this is going to be a blast. But anyway, off my soapbox. 7:30 Eastern time on NBC. It is the number 9 Illinois Fighting Illini. They are 3-0. They travel to number 19 Indiana, also 3-0. A 4.5 point home favorite. Your over/under is 52.5. EJ.
So Illinois is the 2025 version of the 2024 Indiana team.
Kind of.
If this is going the way it looks here, I gotta tell you, I'm really having fun with this Illinois story. Like, this is a hold up. Well, look, last year around this time, we said Indiana will lose some point, and they just kept winning to like.
Didn't Illinois win 10 games though?
Illinois,
like it's not like Illinois was like gone. Illinois finished.
No,
like
they won like 8 or 9 last year. They were a good team last year. They won.
Yeah, they were 10-3 last year.
Sean,
I think they were like 15th. They just missed.
I mean, Sean, with the end of September and Illinois is now in the top 10. That's insane to me. Even in the middle of September, that's still crazy to me. I'm looking. And I'm like, I thought I almost texted Jim. This is not a misprint, is it? You know what I mean? But we're here.
I know.
I'm gonna ride the train here. Give me Illinois to win this game and to cover, and I'll take the over.
All right. But for the record, the last time before now that that Illinois was a top 10 team in the AP was 2001 when they finished the season at number 7 after winning the Big Ten title. So
I had hair.
So yeah, I was fall of 01. I was a sophomore a junior in high school.
I was 21 years old with hair.
So yeah, it's been a journey for them. Sean, Illinois at Indiana.
EJ spending a lot of time on trains. I'm going to ride that train.
Let's do it. I love trains. Remember, I was in New York a couple weeks ago, so I'm still hangover. Subway.
Getting off the fence to hop on a train. Way to go, EJ. Yes. Anyway, Indiana kind of been a Cinderella of sorts. Go through last year. Took a hard one on the chin in the playoffs, but obviously a lot of promise and an undefeated record right now. I think a lot of folks are going to be high on them to actually take this one and upset Illinois. They're a favorite at home despite the rankings, which is strange. And I like them. Indiana set a team record last year with 11 wins, all-time high. But let's not forget this is also a team that is the all-time leader in losses in FBS history. And I say you go ahead and just tack another one right on because I'm going to shift sides here. Illinois is going to take this game. Illinois is hotter. Illinois is more fun. I'm not going to go EJ's route and say they're the new Indiana. I'm going to say they're the first Illinois. And I'm just
saying in terms of the story from last year.
Do I think they're an Ohio State caliber? Not really yet. But do I think they're one of the few teams in the Big Ten that might give them a little sock in the mouth and maybe test them a bit? Sure. So give me Illinois in this one outright, and 52.5. I took the over on the other two. Give me the under on this one just to be different.
All right, very good.
I think that's a good number.
It was 2011 when Illinois went 7-6. Then they went 9 straight seasons of sub-500 football. Brett Bielema has them. He was 5-7 in his first year, 8-5 in his second year, 5-7 in 2023. But of course, like we said, 10-3 last year, got him in the top 10. I knew the guy's kind of a prick, but I knew when he took that team over that he was going to change. He was going to change like Illinois football. They were going to get better. He knows how to coach in the Big Ten. There's still some big games out there for Illinois. They host Ohio State on October 11th. So that's going to be a big one, the next biggest one there for the Illini. But look, Indiana, it was a great story last year, right? You come out of nowhere and, new head coach, doesn't really care what anybody thinks, gets to the college football playoff, loses pretty big, but the guy still got swagger to him. They've lost 1-2 games in their last 17 or something. That's a great story. Mm-hmm. That story ends this Saturday. I think Illinois is a much better football team and has something to prove. So they're going to easily cover and win this game. I think you're over under. I think I'm going to go under. I think they're going to hold Illinois or Indiana off the board. I don't know how many points Illinois scores, but I think they're going to.
That was my concern, is that Indiana may not be able to score as many points as Vegas thinks.
Yeah, I think they're going to knock down Indiana's total, so I think that's going to keep it on the under. But a big Big Ten matchup, and in a college football landscape where I'm not sure how much it's shifting, but I do know that after 100 years of SEC dominance or whatever it felt like, your last 2 national champions have now come out of the Big Ten, and there's a lot of heavy hitting in Big Ten football.
A lot of free. There's a lot of teams that are trying to get some at-large bids there, and the Big Ten's got several of them.
All I know is that every week goes by now, the narrative stays the same, that this thing feels even more wide open. Like, I can make a case for as much as 10 teams to win the national title this year.
Well, yeah, and that's the beauty of, the NIL and the transfer era. But we saw it last year. We saw it last year with, the two teams that played for the national title were not conference champions. They were teams that had one horrible loss and two other losses, one being another pretty horrible one at the end of their regular season in Ohio State losing at Michigan. So there's one loss, two losses isn't going to kill you if it A, happens early enough, or B, you have enough stock built up, because there's still people, and like him, hate him, I'm on the fence on it, depending on the week. But Kirk Herbstreit thinks that Notre Dame's in a better spot today than they were after losing to Northern Illinois last year. So, it's still completely wide open, and that's the beauty of where college football is right now. But that's where we leave week number 4.
Yeah, college football.
Yeah, week number 4 in college football. We leave it behind us, and now we go to the National Football League. We move into week number 3 already of the NFL, and we're kind of starting to see things start to maybe take shape a little bit. Some teams starting to separate, some teams starting to tell us who they actually are. But a really fun one right off the bat on Sunday, 1 o'clock on Fox. It is the 2-0 Rams traveling to the 2-0 Eagles. 3.5-point home favorite for Philly. 44.5 is your over-under on this one. Sean, I will start with you.
I love both these teams a lot. I have both of them winning their respective divisions. I trust McVay. I trust Matt Stafford. I trust everything they got going on there. However, this is the Philadelphia Eagles. As EJ said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And I think the Eagles are hearing a lot of chirps this week. How maybe it was just the tush push. Maybe instead of good defense, it was because Travis Kelce dropped a football. The what ifs out of this game are just insane. I'm like, the Eagles also batted like 5 balls in the air. What if 2 of them were intercepted? Like, don't stop with the what ifs.
My mom had balls. Okay,
like, imagine being like it's a good spot to be in as an Eagles fan. Like, I know it's not flashy, and I know you have concerns about A.J. Brown, and you have concerns about are we going to start throwing the ball at some point? But until you have to, and you have the luxury of just finding yourself a score ahead and being able to sit there and stop the other team until you need to score, and then just go score. That's a pretty good situation to be in. And until somebody knocks us off our peg, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the Eagles in this one. 3.5. It could be 5.5. I'm still taking the Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles here. I am going to take the over. I think it's pushing low at 44.5. I think the Eagles' lack of offense. I think people still aren't really sure what to make. Which Matt Stafford are we going to see? I think you're going to see a real good one. He started warming up. He was going to be one of my, depending how many we did, he was on my docket for potential best of the week. Was Matt Stafford waking up and watching the Rams do what they do. But they're going to have to get Kyron Williams involved if they're going to push this and try to steal one from Philly. So, Eagles in the over.
All right, EJ.
This is a rematch of the only team that gave any sort of resistance to the Philadelphia Eagles during the Super Bowl run last year. Like, people forget, literally 20 yards away from winning that game in the divisional round. Look, I know there's a lot of concern with the Eagles and, they look so like not the same team first 2 weeks in. Stop. They'll get things in order this week. Give me the Eagles in this game. It'll be a competitive game, but the Eagles do still cover. I love the over in this game as well.
Look, there's Devin as the Eagles as well. There's always talk about West Coast teams coming east for early games and all of that. The Rams are a good team, but they've not been super challenged yet so far. And now we're going to find out a little bit more about what they're made out of. They're a good football team. They're probably still the best team in the NFC West, especially given injuries to San Francisco and Seattle looking like they may have overspent for Sam Darnold a bit. It just the Rams. Somebody's got to have to prove they're better than the Rams until I believe it. But the Eagles are still the Eagles, and they whatever the week one stuff was against Dallas, whether it was Dallas overachieving, being able to beat emotion, the Eagles looked more like what you expect them to be on Sunday against the Chiefs, and when push came to shove, they were the better team. And I think that's what they're going to be again this Sunday. I think they will cover the 3.5, probably not by a lot, but I think they will cover it. And I will take the under still. I think both of these offense still kind of finding out who they are a bit, and defenses might be able to reign a little supreme. So I will take the under in this one. Then we go, staying at 1 o'clock on Sunday, but we go to New England. It is the 1-1 Steelers. They're a 1-point road favorite at the New England Patriots, who are also 1-1. Your over-under in this one, also 44.5. Sean.
I mean, this is two teams that have more question marks by far than the two we just talked about. Is Drake May the guy? He seems to look like it sometimes, not the others. Do we believe in Mike Tomlin? Everyone knows I don't. So in a close game here, I don't know. Like the Steelers are like, Steelers won a big game, against the Jets, but then they struggled the following. I don't know how good the defense actually is. I know how good Watt is. I know that there's some good players there. I don't know that they're playing super cohesively. And, people gave Fields a lot of credit in the first game, and I was like, what if it's just the opposite? And then he's the same Justin Fields, and the Steelers just couldn't stop him. And at 1-1, I don't like the Steelers here as a favorite. Give me the Patriots at home to win outright. I think the Patriots are going to move to 2-1. I like where the Patriots are. I think that they have coming up as right now the wide receiver one, but let's not forget Stephon Diggs is sitting there, and they have big Hunter Henry at tight end and a kind of a two-headed monster that's dangerous. I wonder when they're going to get Travion Henderson a little more involved. Maybe this is the one where you need a big play around a good defense. Maybe this is where they get the kid involved. So, yeah, I'm going to take them 44.5, same number. Not as much faith in the two offenses here. I'm going to take the under on this game.
All right, EJ.
Oh, no, Sean, I can't go there to the Pats yet. Even the win in Miami last week, I still don't. Like, all the hype comes to the year about the Pats, they could be a sneaky, weird playoff wildcard team. I didn't see it coming to the year. Then week one happened. I didn't see it then either. Steelers' weird loss to Seattle. The kickoff return that the guy never fielded and be a touchdown. Such a weird game. I don't know. Lots of anomalies in this matchup, honestly. I'm going to go to try and true here. I'm going to go with the Steelers to win this game outright. I'm going to also take the that's the under, honestly. Anything.
Yeah, I think the bet is definitely the under if you're going to approach this one. But Sean talked about there's people out there who don't believe in Mike Tomlin, and I probably lean closer to that side as well. I think this is a bad team that will mask itself some weeks, but it's not going to be this week. I think New England wins this game. They improved to 2-1, and there's the noise around Pittsburgh will get louder.
This game, the noise will get loud. Yes.
We do have a comment here. Gators winning the Natty. Not sure what sport.
College basketball.
They have a good basketball team.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think we're talking football when
they're the defending champions, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so maybe they'll repeat her. Go repeat her. All right, next one. We go 4:25 on Fox. It is the 2-0 Cardinals. They travel to Mac Jones and the 2-0 San Francisco 49ers. They are a 1.5-point home favorite, over under 43.5. Sean.
Hey, first of all, I love Mac Jones currently playing in San Francisco. One, I feel Mac Jones has never gotten a truly fair shake to prove himself. I thought he started to in Jacksonville, and then they were just like, nope, Trevor Lawrence is still our guy, and everybody's going, why? But it'll be funny when he puts up the same numbers Brock Purdy does, and you're like, crap, we paid that guy a lot of money
right.
to do what this other guy does. Anybody want Brock? Everybody want Brock Purdy? He's available. But that'll be fun to watch. I do think you're going to see a little more disarray in this one from the Niners. I think they're going to try to push the run game, obviously, keep the pressure off. You're going to have a lot of screens and stuff, but I think the Cardinals are sneaky fast up front on defense. I feel like that defensive front is very good. This should be a low-scoring game, so the over/under. I'm going to take the under, though there is the risk of some big plays here that could push that. I probably want to touch that over/under at 43.5 in this, but I'll take the under on it. Give me the Cardinals because they're getting 1.5.
All right, EJ.
Which is why I took the over in this one, because I think there'll be a lot of big plays there we're not going to account for in this game. Like, I would be more excited about this matchup if the Niners were healthier. So Purdy be out this game, I'm sure. Kittle's out still multiple weeks.
No Purdy, no Kittle, yeah.
No, yeah.
Still no wide receivers.
Yeah, still no wide receivers. And look, it's still 2-0. 2-0. You take the ones you can. Arizona, weird 2 weeks. They're 2-0. Congratulations to them. But 2 games, one's against the Saints, one's against the Panthers, rather. Up big, almost blow it late. Both games mirrored each other in a sense. This one's even worse. Having said that, God, Arizona's good, man. They're a tough team. When they haven't played a full four-quarter game yet. And I think they will this week because they're playing a much better opponent. I think they'll be a lot more focused. So give me the Cardinals to win outright. And like I said earlier, I'll take the over.
Yeah, when you're talking about a Mac Jones, Jake Tongas offense.
Jake Tongas?
Tongas, Tonges, Tonges. The fact that nobody knows who his name is probably doesn't bode well for San Francisco. Yeah, look, I mean, the Cardinals haven't played a complete game yet. Luckily this week they're not playing a team. They're playing a team who has a less explosive offense in the Carolina Panthers. So I will take the Cardinals to win pretty easily in this one. No offense to Mac Jones, Sean. I just don't believe in this.
I just want to see. I just have Brock Purdy issues. That's all.
No, it's okay. I think the 49ers have Brock Purdy issues. But I will take the under in this one. Yeah, I think this is going to be a offensive struggle in Santa Clara on Sunday. And then last one. See, now this one from the commenter may be closer to accurate. Bucks winning the Super Bowl.
More realistic.
I'm not bought in on it yet.
What year is it? Oh, 2002?
I mean, look.
They still have Tom Brady?
They have a better shot than the Gators winning a natty.
That's true. That is a much better.
That's definitely accurate.
Then we go Monday night, 8:20 Eastern time on ABC and ESPN. My Super Bowl preview. The Lions 1-1 at the 1-1 Ravens, who are a 6-point home favorite. 51.5 is your over/under on this one, Sean.
Yeah, this one should be fun. This was of my four things I had picked out for best of the week. I think the resurgence of the Detroit Lions and Man Campbell was also in my top 4. And man, did they show up. Now, given it was against Chicago, but, we won't, that's semantics, really. But if you need something to get your wheels going, that's a good way to do it. And you're not going to get much bigger non-conference opponent or matchup when those wheels are spinning than this one. It's going to get top billing. It should get top billing. Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff, both were in my top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL when we ranked those in the offseason. So this is a top 5 matchup from the QB position, according to me. And I do like the Ravens a lot. Of course, Henry didn't get going very much last week, and I think the Lions are going to do their best to stop that. I'd expect them to have a better game this week. However, they're getting 6 points at home, and I feel like that's a lot. I'm going to take the Lions to cover and probably just win this game, but it buys me a cushion to say they at least cover. So I'm going to do that, and I am going to take the over at 51.5. I think there's going to be a crap ton of points scored in this one.
All right, very good. EJ.
Yeah, this game is all like the open at 6.5. Now we'll listen at 6 here. Currently it's 4.5 right now on the boards. So it's going all over the place right now. A lot of Detroit money coming in right now during the week. This should be a fun game. This is probably the game of the week. Detroit, bouncing back after an embarrassing week 1 against a divisional opponent, which is always impressive. Baltimore, same thing too. After getting the shocking loss to Buffalo, this game is I guess it should be tough. I guess really, but I don't know. I just think Baltimore, they got the wake-up call. They got the big call week 1. I think they're going to stay on the gas. So I like the Ravens to cover 4.5, 6, 7. I don't care. I see the Ravens win this game in a fairly convincing fashion here, and I will. Wow. The best bet here is the over. Bet the over in this one.
I would think that the best bet is the over. I'm taking the over as well, but man, an easy cover of 6. That's bold. Now I'm going to.
I can see being competitive, but just Baltimore control the game pretty much. Not necessarily a bowl out, but
you can't.
Oh yes, that video. Yes.
Look at it. Look at this man. You're giving 6 points to a large man who has a little dog like that, and if you're not on the YouTube,
no chance.
You got to go check it out. Dan Campbell doing his Starbucks drive with his little doggy in his lap. Don't disrespect this man.
Can that dog stop Lamar Jackson though?
Sure can.
On Monday Night Football in Baltimore,
he's gonna. Look, it's my Super Bowl preview. You go back to the NFL preview show. I picked the Lions to win. Let's start it now. This is the preview. This is your preview of February, folks. The Lions on a Monday night, at the very least cover, but I'm picking them to win the game. I will take the over as well in this one. So that is that, and I think it's not a good start to the NFL slate this week with the Dolphins and the Bills on Thursday night. That's.
I mean, I can see a scenario where the Dolphins they're not going to win the game. No.
Don't do. No, I'm trying
to win the game.
No, EJ, hold on, stop. I'll let you finish what you were going to say. But I tried to do this a couple times last year, and you drove right through the stop sign.
You trying to tell me?
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you to not.
Can you cue my kid?
To not. Well, that'll be next week when if what I believe will happen on Thursday happens. But I'm telling you, do not say that the Dolphins are going to have any sort of a chance to even be mildly competitive.
What I was getting at, Jim, was that so it's a 12-point favorite. Take Miami in the points and won that game.
Do not.
I think Miami will desperation keep the game closer than 12 points. I think this is the desperate week because if they lose this game in a blowout fashion, McDaniel's getting fired on Friday. So this desperation here.
Just stand there in your wrongness and be wrong and get used to it.
Yeah, no. It's the reason that this game is on Amazon Prime is because you can't broadcast this game on over-the-air broadcast TV.
You can't broadcast a beating this bad.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't know why you act like I picked the Dolphins to win.
You said they're going to make it closer than 12 points.
Think this game will be competitive.
No, it won't.
Divisional game.
It will not.
A divisional game. These
Covering
teams hate
12
each other.
points means they're in a position to maybe win the game, and I think that that's a bold overstep.
Bills win this game by 20 plus.
It's going to be ugly.
20 plus. I'd be shocked if it's that close.
Whatever, Jim.
I have not always sided with my brother in my life, but in this
I'm telling you, man. Divisional optics don't mean shit when you have a team that's that bad. You think Tyreek Hill's quitting, Josh McDaniel quitting, Tua doesn't know where he is.
Josh McDaniel is going to go to that game. Before he leaves for that game, he's going to make sure everything in his office is already in a box.
You mean Mike McDaniel? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Mike McDaniel. That's my
Mike
bad.
McDaniel.
I was like, did Josh get a job? I didn't know.
No, he's still homeless. All right.
But I will have the soundbite queued up for next week because, there's no way this thing's under 20 points.
You think Buffalo? Oh, you think Buffalo covers this game?
Oh, steamrolls them. Steamrolls them.
Okay.
Dude, didn't they just beat the Jets by 30?
Who?
Didn't the Bills just beat the Jets by like 30 on this past?
Who?
The Jets are better than the Dolphins.
Play the soundbite, bro.
At the very least, the Dolphins and the Jets are the same.
At best.
Jets.
At best. But I think that the two of the Jets' wins this year will be against the Dolphins.
Oh, God, really? Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Dude, the Dolphins are painfully bad.
They need to trade Tyreek Hill to the Chiefs.
Yeah, they traded last week. Did that, honestly.
They need to do that.
Well, yeah, because they needed him to play until Rashee Rice comes back for when Tyreek Hill gets suspended. They'll just keep trading.
Right.
They'll just keep trading suspensions.
Domestic assault, and then
trading cards.
Yeah, they're just trading off suspensions.
They can make shirts with both their pictures on it called assault and battery.
Jesus.
That's their wide receiving core.
Ouchie.
And on that, we move to this week's power rankings. Again, we won't play the song until if and when a time student of the game Kyle Nash shows up, because none of us can dance like him. But I do have Mike's rankings, but we'll go over ours. We'll discuss them. We will start with EJ. EJ, who is your bottom five for this week?
All right, bottom five, 23-2. We got the Jets, Titans, Dolphins, Panthers, Saints. Pretty much like last week, outside the Jets. I had to pass last week. They're out now. So the bottom four is pretty much similar to last week.
Okay, Sean?
So the worst team in the league is the Dolphins. Just further proof they're not going to cover 12 points. At 31, I'm just here to let you know that the Bears still suck. They suck. And they're getting worse. It's going to get so bad. The Bears have a cornerback, number one cornerback, best guy against the
Bears still suck.
It's a great soundtrack.
Still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck.
Caleb Williams can talk about his arm all he wants. If he can't put it in front of a guy, he can't. And I get the receiving core is good. Are they going to have flashes of brilliance? Yeah, but at best, they're what we've seen out of the Cardinals for the last few years, where you're going to have highlight reels. You're like, man, this team must be winning by 30.
They are what we thought they were.
By 14. The Bears are not going to – they'll be competitive in some games but lose most of them, and they belong here. Panthers are real bad. They're sitting at 30. The Jets are the most dysfunctional franchise in the NFL. So they're at 29. And yes, I understand, EJ, you have the Saints. And to be honest, they should probably be the next team out of my mouth. But while the Chiefs are 0-2, they will – as long as the Chiefs don't have a win, they will be in my bottom five. And to be honest, I mean, for someone who likes optics so much, it has not looked great. I mean, I know they had a few – they can't run the ball. I mean, the defensive front still looks good. Chris Jones looks good. The secondary's shown some instability. They've let some guys behind him, made some Mahomes is making mistakes. They're not healthy at wide receiver. There's not a lot to like. Short of a defensive front and maybe a tight end and a few glimpses of Taylor Swift every now and again, there's not a ton to write home about in Kansas City. So while I did this kind of as a joke and a shot at the Kansas City Chiefs, I don't think the Chiefs this low is that far-fetched. Not as much as when I put the Lions here last week.
Yeah, no, I mean, certainly not there yet. And if you're making the list based on what is expected, then certainly the Chiefs could be there.
If you went like which teams are the biggest disappointments, I mean,
Chiefs are up there.
There can't be anyone worse.
The Commanders would be in your bottom five then as well.
Commanders are pretty low then. Yeah.
I get it. I certainly don't have them there, at least not yet. But
this early in the season, it's so hard to like. There's a lot of teams I could have thrown in this bottom five. I think.
Sure.
And I would have felt fine doing so. So I figured while I was juggling them, and it's this early, and no one's going to remember this anyway at the end of the season, I may as well have some fun at Patty Mahomes' expense.
There you go. Mike has Dolphins at 32, Bears 31, Giants 30, Saints 29, Panthers at 28. For me, my five teams are the same in the bottom five. Dolphins remain at 32. Panthers drop to 31. Titans drop to 30. Saints drop to 29. Giants move up to 28. They're still one of the worst teams in football, but on the backs of the Cowboys' porous defense, the Giants do move up to 28 because they at least showed life on one side of the ball. EJ, who is your top 10 this week?
All right. My top 10, albeit, well, it's not controversial, I guess. 10, the Colts, 9, the Commanders, 8, the Lions, 7, the Rams, 6, the Bucks, 5, the Chargers, 4, the Packers, 3, Ravens, 2, Bills, 1, Eagles. My list is pretty much in line of last week's. I mean, obviously Colts are new here. A couple of little tinkering on the edges with the Commanders. And
the Commanders came down, Niners out, Colts in.
Bucks went up a little bit. But, like, my top 5 is pretty much the same as last week, I think.
They stink.
The same order. Same order and all. I tinker with the idea of putting the Packers ahead of the Ravens, but I think if those two teams play today, Baltimore still wins that game. That's
why. Yeah. Sean, your top 10.
All right. A little bit of recipe from last week, which was kind of let's go with what I'm seeing. But there's a little more at play here because, I'm starting to see some things take shape. And going into the next few weeks, there's some teams here that I think belong here, and we threw them back in. So we started 10. I got the 49ers. They probably don't belong here, but I didn't know where else to start. So they made it just in until they lose another one.
You do what I did last week, actually. See, there you go.
They're going to lose the next one, and they're going to go out. But if they win, then I look smart and I keep them here. But then I got the Ravens here and the Lions. Both those teams are probably going to work their way up here over the next few weeks, I would imagine. But for now, we'll put them at 8-9, see who wins the game, and bump them up while the other one falls back off. Buccaneers, I want to like them. It did not look great yesterday, but I'll go ahead and keep them here at 7. I got the Rams at 6 just because I think they're going to be in this 5 range pretty much all year. Colts at 5. I'm a little higher than them than everyone else, but, I mean, I think they're an all-around I think they're just like an all-around package right now.
They're fun. Good defense, they're having fun at the very least.
Good tight end. Jonathan Taylor's running like it was 5 years ago. I think there's plenty to like about the Colts right now, and they're just as good as anybody. So give me them at 5. Chargers at 4. Bills at 3. My Eagles at 2. And as much as I wanted to push them past the Packers after a win with the Chiefs, we'll just call it optics because I hate the word, and we'll keep the Packers there for now until the Eagles wake up.
Yeah.
It stinks.
For Mike, he had the Bengals at 10, Cardinals at 9,
Homer.
Bucks at 8. Now he did say to that one because he did give me reasons for any of them. So if we have any questions about any of these rankings, he did give me reasons. He said Bengals 10 would be higher, but the Burrow injury probably makes this a 1-week stay. That's fair. They are 2-0 still, even without Burrow currently. Bengals 10, Cardinals 9, Bucks 8, Colts 7, Lions 6, Packers 5, Chargers 4, Ravens 3, Bills 2, Eagles at 1. For me, I have the Steelers. They fall 3 spots to 10. Lions find their way in at 9. Colts up 2 spots to 8. Bucks get into the ranking as well. It wasn't pretty, but with teams moving out, there's other teams have to move in. Ravens, a big launch up into my rankings. They were out just outside last week. Rams up from number 9 to the 5th spot. And then I have the same top 4 as I had last week. Chargers 4, Bills 3, Packers 2, and Eagles at 1. EJ, I was glad to see you get the 49ers out of your list. I took a objection to that last week. Sean, I take objection to the fact you put them in this week.
Don't forget, too, also, they announced the injuries to Purdy.
There's a lot of that middle-of-the-road teams that just got real cold on.
After we broadcasted the show last week, they announced Purdy be out the day after or 2 days after.
They for me, they were wrong in there even if Purdy was on the field.
I understand that.
But
you're wrong. You're wrong, too. It was okay.
No, you just got right this week, so I'm proud of you.
No. Calm down.
It shows personal growth on your part.
Personal growth.
we were all a week ahead of you for the Colts. So
I need hair growth.
Well, so you and me both, but that's a whole separate issue. I mean, I don't. It is tough. These rankings this early is tough because
it's like college football rankings.
Yeah, college football rankings. But yeah, it's just we're with nobody playing in the preseason and all that. It's hard to get a gauge of where teams are, and I think we're going to see volatile Septembers, and we're going to see teams look bad in week 1 and get right the second week, or teams that maybe overachieve week 1 and crash to reality in week 2, stuff like that. And then you're not even counting in injuries and any of those other things. We for the most part we kind of have the same teams when you're looking at. Our 9s and 10s, like some people probably wouldn't have the Steelers in the top 10 for me.
I was going to say that would be my issue. If you have an issue with the 49ers, for me, it's the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, I had them at 7. Not a great loss, but I maybe because they're a little healthier than like the 49ers. Like, even though the Niners are 2-0, like they don't feel like a good team. I almost
threw them right out and I kind of just gave them one last hurrah here. I'm like,
that's fair. Yeah,
almost like my Bengals,
right?
Where I was like, I just feel like they still played a little better than some of the other teams I was thinking about, and I was like, yeah, we'll keep them here and see if they move up or down. Is pretty much why they're sitting at 10.
Yeah, I think your Niners, my Steelers, Mike's Bengals, and quite frankly, EJ's Commanders. Those are kind of the teams that are like, do they actually belong here?
Right, they're on the seesaw's straight across.
So there's a case. Okay, so looking back in hindsight, there's a case the Commanders should be here. The Commanders, they won against the Giants week 1, but that was a 1-score game until like 5 minutes ago in the game.
Right.
All right, against a really bad Giants team, and then week 2 they did not play well at all against Green Bay. So there's a case for the Commanders to not be on this list at all.
Whoa! Speaking of crashing into the studio, my God, we do have student of the game, Kyle Nash.
I guess
game arrives to make fun of our list.
Really, that wasn't the intention necessarily to make fun of the lists, but I did want to bring up an element of tool time. I don't know if you guys have broached the topic yet, but are we ready to admit that Brian fucking Daboll was never the coach of the year now that Danny Dimes is, making it rain with dollars instead of coins?
I mean, I think
no.
I do think most of us already.
Oh, it's a good thing that the Giants fan was. Stop it. Calm your ass down.
I do.
You're rude. You come in on this show. You're rude. You don't say hi to anybody here.
Excuse me, Jim. Can I get a? He's so goddamn rude.
It's so goddamn rude.
I do think that most of us already. We're on your side on that one, Kyle, as it pertains.
Just throwing it out there.
Right.
I was saying the voters agree to me.
Well,
they know everything.
Well, if we know anything about voters, they regularly get things wrong.
Oh, wow. Look at how poignant, Jim. I like it.
What?
Wow.
This is going somewhere.
What? I didn't think that that show that won the Emmy this past Sunday should have won the Emmy.
What show was that?
What did you think? The show. What did you think I was referring to? But welcome, Kyle. Welcome. Good to see you.
Good to be seen. I mean, I did mostly just want to come off the top rope there, right into Brian Daboll's general direction, and a win for the Eagles and getting Saquon and exposing him that way, and then what happened with Dimes there. Within Indy, I admittedly look stupid. I thought that the reason why we were calling him Indiana Jones is because he's going to get whipped. That is not what's happened.
I think there's a lot of us who, we're probably in the same boat. Man, I probably should have hit you with this one, Kyle, because I did have it. I did have it all ready for you.
Nice.
I think there's a lot of people, myself included, who was thinking the Colts would look a lot different with Danny Dimes at quarterback, and they're just
turns out they do. They're a lot better.
Well, that's true. That is true. They do look a lot different.
Because I had a lot of question marks about Anthony Richardson, and then all of a sudden here comes Danny Dimes, and he's just the opposite. And then I'm like, wow, this is exactly what they needed. Jonathan Taylor's ecstatic.
No kidding.
He's running he runs like it's 5 years ago because like he hasn't had to use that energy. He's like, well, he's just going to run it.
Right.
And you got these route runners over the middle and the big tight ends, the guys that Richardson just overlooked to hit Alec Pierce down the sideline. And all of a sudden, Michael Pittman's like, yes, possession receiving. This is the best thing in the world. I love life. And now I think the Colts, much like we mentioned Dallas and their new coach and how maybe the big plays are exciting for them. I think just playing good football is exciting for some of these guys that the Colts brought in to originally play good football.
And real quick, I know you just got rid of the power rankings. Sean, I appreciate you leveraging your position as one of 2 Eagles fans on the show. You and EJ, of course, are the ones I mentioned. Correct. But you leveraging
shut your ass.
Hey, listen, I can go send the graphic to Jim to flash on the show for next week, where you mentioned being an Eagles fan. That's a thing that happened. Okay, you can't take that away. But
prove it.
I just said I could. Don't dare me. But the punchline.
I'm daring you.
You can't I can't do it on your show because you're hiding from me. But but the whole thing
Most
about
people do, Kyle.
That's a fair point. But you being the Eagles fan on the panel and of all people to see talk smack on Chris Jones being Jalen Hurts and having that victory, normally I would be like, let's settle down on Chiefs in the bottom 5. But I like you leveraging your position as the Eagles fan. No, that's where they belong. My team.
Put them down there.
I'm
sick of their crap, all the whining and all the nonsense. I'm much
You-
and it was much more fun for me to throw the Chiefs under the bus after that loss than to like give the Eagles my number 1 spot because of the win. Do I think the Eagles are better than the Packers? Yes. Have we shown it yet? Not necessarily. So until we do, I'm going to hold us at number 2, and that's just pretty much where I'm going to have us sitting until we decide that we're ready to step up.
The irony.
I think it's do that thing as a fan.
The irony: the Eagles are number 2. You think the Chiefs are number 2 in a different way? It's all perfect.
It's perfect.
Kyle, I'm watching baseball. Kyle, I'm watching baseball.
That's a you problem. Okay.
Speaking of which, semi-breaking news out of Major League Baseball, and by breaking news I mean like an hour old.
Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, Cal Raleigh.
Incredible.
It's his 55th home run of the season, breaking the all-time record by Mickey Mantle for a switch hitter in a single season.
He hit 2 tonight, I think. He hit 2 tonight, I think, actually.
Yeah, I saw 55 was the one that did it. So
yeah,
I think he's great for baseball.
I believe in Joe Hendry. There we
There you go. Beautiful.
He's great for baseball.
Go my Lord, Kyle. Look at you.
But I would pay money to watch him and Kyle Schwarber just do a 2-man home run derby.
Oh, for real?
That would
watch
be fun.
The 50 Club? Hell yeah.
Just big baseball play. Just swing your asses off, fellas,
But I think that like the big thing as it pertains to the power rankings, I think we're going to learn a lot more over the next 4 weeks. These first couple weeks, I think, until there ever comes a time, and it probably won't exist, where the preseason format and how teams manage their rosters in the preseason change. We're gonna see some elements of unpredictability in the first couple weeks. We're gonna start to settle into things that we actually know in the 3rd through 8th week of the year. We're going to start to figure things out a little bit more. But as we do each and every week, gentlemen, we know how we close this show up.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
We look ahead to the weekend that will be with one thing that will happen. And EJ, what will happen this weekend in football?
Well, my lock of the week is that Mac Jones, once again, will have a very solid 250-plus yard a day against the Cardinals in a loss.
Oh, okay.
Thus completing my dream and proving that anyone can do what Brock Purdy does.
Well,
that's what I love about it. I want Mac Jones to do so well so that the 49ers look so dumb. That's what I want to happen. But it's a good bet. I think the matchup's good enough for that.
Yeah. I'd say if you're looking for an argument from me, just because I'm a Niners fan doesn't mean I love Brock Purdy getting paid. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say you've been very vocally
Before you
against
hopped on, I said the Jaguars made a mistake not signing Mac Jones because I think he's potentially better than Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, stop!
Now that's could be hot.
It's a stretch.
We'll hit.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
We will never know.
Trevor has not met the expectations he came in the league with, but he's not bad.
Yeah, if you're weighing it, it's similar to how we talked about some of the things in the power rankings. Like if you're weighing it to expectation, you're under. But I don't think it's as bad as the weight of the expectation. But
he's not a bust.
Sean, what will happen this weekend?
What will happen is we will roll in to Thursday with the 32 head coaches that we are used to seeing. But when we wake up on Friday and as we prepare for our football Sunday, only 31 of them will remain because Mike McDaniel will be without a job.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think they get murdered on Thursday night and he just picks up the box he's already packed at his office and walks it out to his car.
The irony is I don't even think it's his fault, but I'll leave it at that.
Well, this is in Buffalo. I would just take all the stuff out of my office before I took it.
Yeah, I would just
clear it out now. Have it.
Just put it in my car. Just leave it.
This is,
they'll be in, at that point. They'll be in tank mode.
Yeah, no, I don't know that it's all his fault.
I don't think he's allowed to drive a tank. He drives a car like the rest of us. I don't think he's got that.
Was it Chris Greer, the GM, is already licensed to drive a tank? I actually had to write about that ish on the Dolphins Wire back when it happened last time. For, ironically, 1-2 at Tagovailoa. Oh, look at this! He's got a belt too.
I don't think it's all his fault. I do think that man has checked out. I think he's well aware of his fate and is just.
I wouldn't be surprised if he made some calls in the game that were like, "Go ahead and fire me."
Right. I mean, like, what was the?
I don't know if it'll be a 75-yard field goal like Janikowski and the Raiders several years ago, but something along the lines of like, just run it, like just run this thing out. It's the second quarter, but I'm done.
Let's just get it over with.
Field goal kicks don't seem so little anymore, do they?
You ain't kidding. I can't wait to see Brandon Aubrey kick in Denver in a couple of weeks.
That guy, he's a
fun
good
times.
Just line that dude up for an 80-yarder. I don't even care.
This week there were like 5 different game tying or game winning or game leading kicks that were like 55, 60 plus. Like that, there were just several that were just in that high 50s, and guys were just killing. The Raiders had their kicker crushed one.
Yeah.
Last night that I was like, God, that would have been good from 75.
Did you see the stat? Did you see the stat that came out recently that I think it's like the 4 of the last 7 game-winning 60-yarder field goals against the Giants?
That's
I
awesome.
did see that.
Like when you have Mike McDaniel making
I almost made a stand that the Giants also would not have a coach. We'd be down 2 coaches somewhere, but it's
he'll make it in a year. He makes it in a year.
When you have McDaniel making quotes like this,
to win games, you have to win the game, not lose the game.
Yeah,
honestly. And
I was asking you to the presser, man.
If you want to win games, you're going to have to win the game.
I like the guy, man, but
you're moving the ball down the field. You're first and 10.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
Trey Tyreek.
I mean, he's always been a pretty flat guy, like as far as his emotions, but like, that's
right. That's a whole new level.
Tone has changed.
Yeah, exactly.
I do.
Like,
wonder,
it was like a fun flat. This is not fun.
I do wonder.
This is like a flat tire flat where you're like, God damn it.
Not knowing the language.
I can still drive the car, but I shouldn't because it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, right. Like, maybe Kyle knows more about this.
That's what he is. He's a flat tire on the car of the Dolphins.
The language of Tua's contract beyond this year. I'm just curious. The language.
Not up on that. That's a good question. I know they're still on the hook for a lot of it. It's Tyreek Hill's money that basically evaporates because he signed it thinking he would be retiring after this season anyway.
Right, and I heard that Tua will be owed probably if they were to cut him somewhere in the neighborhood of $60 to $70 million dead cap money if they were to cut him after this year. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I've heard.
Well, and then also assumes he gets out healthy too. By the way,
correct.
And they're not on the hook for that.
That would have to do with what you think your franchise. Like if you're going into a full rebuild for whatever reason, you're going to go new QB, Then I don't know if that dead cap money really kills you because you're going to have a lot of rookie and small deals.
Well, not only that, you already have Quinn Ewers already on your roster too.
No, that's terrible. You just got to keep him around.
Don't forget they signed Quinn Ewers. They drafted him also too, so he's running that kind of like I guess the project they're gonna have in case Tua.
Juggernaut Quentin Ewers. You know what? Sign fucking Mac Jones for Christ's sake.
Well, if you're
better than Trevor Lawrence.
If your project is multiple seasons with top 5 overall picks, then by all means, Quinn Ewers.
Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson.
Kyle,
he's yours, not mine.
Jeez,
yours, not mine. That's my slogan on Quinn Ewers.
Kyle, do you I'm throwing you on the spot. Do you have a lock for the week?
I do, and I'll stay consistent with what I said on the Night Shift podcast, powered by the Black and Gold Banneret. Sorry, I still have mine. My bad, Jim. But you sent it to me. I'm going to use.
I still have this one too.
Right?
There's all sorts of dings.
Bells and whistles, maybe. But the lock in question, while he will cover the 6.5 point spread as of yesterday, which I still don't understand, the UCF Knights beat Bill Belichick and the Tar Heels at the Bow Towels.
Ooh.
First Power 5 win under the Scott Frost era with his 17th straight UCF victory.
There you go. Also, did you say whistles as well? It's a slide whistle, but
what can I say except you're welcome?
It still works, right? It's
what can I say except you're welcome?
And mine.
Once we get to you're welcome, I feel like we're in a good place.
Yeah,
because Kyle's done talking.
Listen, there's more that can happen, and I'm warning you now. I tried to tell you, but you didn't listen.
There you go.
Stop doing that.
She just
too late.
You put the board in soundboard.
Ow! Oh my God! Really?
I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen.
Damn,
Mr. Neese.
Wow.
Ow!
Way to go, a-hole!
Just no need for that.
As Burns go, that's a fucking 10. I'll give you credit.
10.
Let's say this is I don't have to worry
about mid-season form here in week 3.
I give it a 10, a fucking 10.
Which is more than we could say for the Chiefs, right?
Exactly. Which I don't have to worry about swearing on this show, although unlike what I did on Kyle's show last year, with that soundbite. But I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna lean into it. I don't know if I'm still contact high from Brandon Aubrey's 64-yard field goal, and because he also played soccer, albeit at this university. But Notre Dame and their much maligned defensive secondary will seal their first win of the season, albeit against Purdue. I will take what I can get at this point. With a late fourth quarter interception to seal up that victory.
Yeah, I hit my last 2, so I could take a gamble on this one.
Yeah. It's I need something. I need something. I mean, mine last week was Jackson Dart replacing Russell Wilson. Technically, Dart did come in the game at spots. I don't know.
Packages. Yeah.
He did. They did put him in the game. He didn't quite replace him.
I got my Cam Ward first career touchdown as guaranteed.
There you go.
Jim, the way you got to look at it, that's what your Jackson Dart and Notre Dame picks have in common. Jackson Dart coming in, that's the first step to him replacing Russell Carrington Wilson. This win against Purdue, the first step in the Irish still making the damn playoffs. I said what I said.
Well, I hope.
You did say it.
I hope. My hope is not lost. It is fading, but it is not.
I know better than to say it out loud.
It is not lost. I will not say it out loud.
I'm not a fan. It doesn't matter if I do.
There you go. That is the beauty of it. All right, that is where we are going to close up for the week. And since he did crash the party, I will let student of the game Kyle Nash share away first.
Oh, shoot, I wasn't even looking to plug, but I'm here anyway. There's probably a joke in there somewhere referring to EJ Christian's social life. Of course, I am Kyle Nash, the student of the game. You can find me on Instagram, Threads, Twitter, and Blue Sky.
You missed me.
Wow. At the SOTT. Find me on Facebook as a student of the game. Check out my writings with the Fans First Sports Network covering the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Orlando Magic. Plus, check out my offerings with the Duval Dive, the Bolt Blitz Uncut, and the Night Shift podcast. And then also, as I mentioned earlier, covering UCF with the Black and Gold banneret. Pretty sure that's everything. So, gentlemen, an honor, joy, and privilege, albeit briefly, to join you. Until next time, class dismissed.
Love it. Always love seeing that sexy face. Sean, let them know where they can follow you.
All right, as usual. If you aren't going to be following me in your 8th grade science class, as some of you listeners will be doing, you can follow me on Twitter at Sean Shine State. You can also keep an eye out on Spotify for the Sean Shine Statement. Hopefully that gets going this year. I've got some ideas. We're going to get them flying. But until then, you can catch me watching the Birds, watching the Phils, go Phils. And right now, watching Danny Dollars, Danny Dimes, whatever we're calling him these days, Indiana Jones, and pulling for the Colts when the Eagles aren't playing. So go Birds, go Phils, go home.
All right. EJ, let them know.
Yeah, watch the house this fucking Giant game from Sunday. EJ Chris 7 on X, of course.
Tell me how that game ends, by the way, when you see the highlights.
Sick, so sick. Anyway, Earth Week Podcast across all podcast catchers. We are putting out content pretty much daily now, 5 days a week at least. We do miss Kyle, of course, when he hopefully comes back soon and do the swing report once things clear up on his end.
Yeah.
Looking for that. The door's always open. You already know the door's always open, brother. You know that already. So, Earth Week Pod on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, all that good stuff. And that's all I got for you guys.
All right, you can follow me at Big Jim Sports, but most importantly, make sure you are following the show. We are at Huddle Up Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, or on Facebook, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Twitter. We are on Instagram at Huddle Up Podcast Inc. We also have our merchandise over on our TeePublic store. Make sure you go ahead and grab that gear up for the season. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Huddle Up Podcast. Our subscriber numbers are growing, so let's keep that number on the up and up. Also, make sure you subscribe to us on all podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more. Until next week, we hope you stay safe, stay smart, and as always, go for the win.